Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope that it's a blessed one for you. It's surely a blessed one for me. Every day that I wake up is blessed. All right, let's get into it. It is a wonderful, blessed, prosperous Wednesday. So I'm getting right into the verse. The Bible verse of today is coming from Luke chapter 14 verse 11. Luke 14:11 reads, "For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." Let's talk about that. I am talking about being humble. So I'm also going to go a step further and I'm going to type in an original definition of what being humble means. Humble, not proud or arrogant, modest, having a feeling of insignificance, inferiority, subservience, low in rank, importance, status, quality, etc., lowly. The last definition is courteously respectful. So let's talk about it. I see a lot of times right now, it's like everyone wants to be boastful. Everyone wants to talk about self. Everyone wants to be a leader and not a follower. And that's great. But at some time, we have to be humble. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't humble yourself, which means have sometimes a lower status in your attitude and just not being so arrogant all the time and not being so boastful and not being so it's all about me, I gotta prove this and I gotta prove that kind of mindset. If you are not humble, let me tell you something. Life will do it for you. It will humble you. And guess what? I can proudly say I am finally in that season of being humbled. Let me tell you something. God will let you keep going. He will let you get beside yourself. And there's some people out here who think that they are a God. They think that they did it. They did all this magnificent, wonderful things. But God will show you time and time again, He is in control. So before you just get all into yourself and think that you're here all the time, just be careful. Learn how to be a giver and a receiver. Learn how to serve. Give back to your community. When is the last time that you volunteered, you've helped the less fortunate? When is the last time you've talked to people who have less than you? That's all a part of humility. When is the last time you've taken full accountability for your mistakes? Even when people are mean to you, when is the last time you've been the bigger person? That's a part of being humble. When is the last time you've thanked someone for doing something for you? When is the last time you've looked someone in their eyes and said, you know what? Thank you so much for what you've done. Without you, I would be nothing. When is the last time you thanked your parents? When is the last time you thanked your aunt? And it's like sometimes we get to a certain place, we get to certain statuses, we get certain jobs, and we forget about the people along the way, the small people we think in our mind that have helped us, who have paved the way. And you know what I found out? All the little people in your mind that you don't think about, that you're like, oh, I'm good on them. Those are the people who are your biggest supporters. Those are the people who are praying for you in the dark. Those are the people that are cheering you on time and time and time again. Do not forget about the people who are there, who are always supporting you, who've been supporting you since you were 5, trying to sell Girl Scout cookies, trying to sell candy bars. You remember back in the day when we had the magazines at school and we had to sell the candy bars and the cookies and whatever. Don't forget about those people year after year after year that always helped you. Because there's going to come a time in your life where sometimes we have dry seasons. Sometimes there's times in our lives where it's possibly, I'm not going to say it's the worst time of our life. We need it. It's necessary. But it's a time in our life that's uncomfortable. And those are the people, I'm telling you, that are going to be in the dark praying for you. Those are the people that are going to be cheering you on, telling you to keep going. They are going to be your biggest supporters. Be very careful of how you treat people. Be very careful of how you talk to people. And be very careful of thinking that just because you're in one position, you're always going to be in that position. Life can change daily. If you're up today, it doesn't guarantee that you'll be up tomorrow or the following week or the following week. A lot of people thought that they were going to continue and remain up during September 11th. September 11th opened up a lot of people's eyes. COVID-19 opened up a lot of people's eyes when people got layoffs, when people got all kinds of things that happened. Never be so comfortable and content in a position. Never worship people. Never worship a position and think that you're just, oh, I have this. I drive this car. I have these things. So they don't do these things. So they're not in my league. Well, those people that you're downing and looking down on and saying they're not in your league, those are the same people that could turn around and become higher than you. They could end up being in a position and in a status that is higher than you. And God will bless them even better because they're more humble. They know how to give back and they know how to still remain the same. Don't ever lose yourself in people, places, and things. Don't ever lose yourself in a brand. Don't ever lose yourself being around certain circles. Because one thing I've learned, even in Atlanta to me is like a Black Hollywood. And 1 minute, people, I'm down for you, you're cool. And they'll turn around and stab you in your back. But I think it's not just Atlanta, it's life. Everyone has or has had a friend who they thought was their friend, and they turned around and did something to them and stabbed them in their back, and they're like, oh, I thought that they were down for me. That's how life can do you when you turn around and you don't remember where you come from. And I have a problem with people who grew up in small towns with cows and chickens, and it's like they get to a certain plateau, they get educated and they start making a certain salary, and then they go and they make a certain circle of friends and they hide where they come from. They hide certain family members. Your family is your family. You cannot change that, okay? One thing I will never do is hide my family. One thing I will never do is be like, oh no, that's not my family member. I'm going to deny them. And I don't know if you guys remember that movie. Is it Imitation of Life? And it was about a biracial girl. And she was black and white. Her mother was black, and I believe she was a maid. So her daughter was so embarrassed by her. And because she was lighter, it's like she didn't want to claim her mother around people. She would sit up and be like, oh no, that's not my mother. She even moved to a whole new town to get away from her mother, y'all. And was like, that's not my mother. Telling people and lying and lying and lying. Her mother passed away. And I'll never forget that scene where she was like, Mom, no. She was crying all over her casket. It's too late. And I'm telling you, if you are that type of person and you're mistreating someone, you're mistreating a family member because of where they come from. If they talk country, they have a southern drawl, that's them. That's who they are. At least they're real. And I would rather be around real people than a fake person any day. I would rather be around a person that I don't have to second guess every day. I know waking up every day with this person, they are going to be the same. I don't want to be around any group of people who are going to change with the wind. If they get around this circle, they're different. They get around that circle, they're different. I don't want to be around people like that. And that scene in Imitation of Life always makes me mad because I'm just like, why didn't you appreciate your mother? Regardless of if she was a maid, regardless of if she was darker than you, while she was alive. And there's so many people in life that are like that. And it seems like they don't appreciate you until you get at their level or higher, or if they, especially here in Atlanta, if they know that you know someone who is of status, now you want to speak to me. But I don't have to be a person that boasts and talks about, I know this person or I know that person. I don't have to do that to prove anything to you. Why? Because I'm humble. I don't have to prove anything to you. As long as God loves me, he knows my heart, there's nothing I have to prove to you. Because let me tell you something. You don't have to go over and beyond to be seen and to try to impress people. When you are a follower of God, you wake up in the morning, you trust God, you talk to God, God will make it where people will flock to you anyway. Your skills will be just so great. They're going to look and say, who is that guy? Who is that girl? I need to get to know them. He will draw people to you. You don't have to do that much for people to see you. All you have to do is continue to be yourself, stay true to yourself, do not burn bridges. And my mom always taught me that. I don't care what people do to you, how they hurt you. You never know if you're going to see that person again. So when it comes to a boss at a job, I have been a person, I always put in a 2 weeks. I always thank them. I don't care, because I've told this story on a previous Wednesday Wisdom Nugget. My boss that I had at a previous job ended up being my boss at a future job. And it's so cool now for people on social media, and in this social media generation, they think it's cool to burn bridges. Oh yeah, girl, just leave that job. No, you never know who you might need. Remain humble, remain meek, be nice to people, be the bigger person, because I'm telling you, you will receive your blessing. It may not come when you want it to, but every seed that you're sowing right now is all going to build up, and it's going to grow, and it's going to blossom, and it's going to start your path for greatness. So make sure that you never forget who you feel are the small people, but they're really the big people. They're your biggest supporters. Everyone doesn't have to, be a fan, or everyone doesn't have to pretty much just go over and beyond for you. They don't have to just praise you all the time to show you support. There are quiet supporters for you. There are people that will support you in the dark. There's so many people that have been quiet supporters of me that I did not know supported me, and they never told me. And in saying that, I would like to dedicate what I just said, because I had a quiet supporter in my cousin, and his name was John Jackson. John always came to me, and he believed in me more than I believed in myself. Rest in peace, John. I love you, but he believed in me more than I believed in myself. He used to always talk to me every time I would go to Birmingham. I have family in Birmingham on my dad's side. He would come to me all the time, talk to me, and just tell me things. He told me a lot of great, just information that made me want to keep pursuing things. And he, like I said, he would believe in the visions I had more than I believed in it myself. And I'm telling you, don't write off your quiet supporters. Don't write off people because they don't necessarily tell you that they're supporting you. There are people that are watching you from afar, and they are cheering you on. Everyone doesn't have to be in your face telling you you're great, you're this, you're that. So just always treat people the way that you want to be treated. Most of all, remain humble, because that is what's going to get you far. Remember, the seeds that you are sowing today is what's going to be your blessing tomorrow, a year from now. It's all manifesting. Work on your humility. Work on your gratitude. God bless. Be humble, y'all. Bye-bye.